here it is.
All right, there. Welcome to the 11th edition of the Novice Sports Show. You'll notice that we're missing one. My man Jay, like I said, had an issue with the family. So again, please keep him in your prayers. Like I said, for today's show, like I said, we're going with Mr.
AJ.
AJ over here, and we're going with A-Dub. Like I said, as we always say in the intro, we had three guys to come together organically to talk about sports. Like I said, we need all your help to grow at the channel. So please like, share, subscribe. Again, we may read your comments, and again, we may not. So, like I said, basketball season is coming to not an end, but again, the time where everybody starts to watch. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the play-in games and the teams we think that actually might make it. We know last year, again, I'm a Heat fan, that AT actually made it all the way to the championship game. I knew they were going to lose because we just didn't have the talent. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and jump in right quick, and we're going to jump in on that topic. So we were looking at the play-in schedule. Again, we're novice. We clearly don't get it.
Yes, it's probably not as complicated as we're making it out to be, but we were having trouble figuring it out. So you got the play-in teams on the West.
Yep.
The Suns are the 7 if it ends today. There's still one more game.
Yep.
And then the play-in tournament starts on Tuesday.
Yep.
Suns are 7, Lakers are 8, Kings are 9, Warriors are 10.
Yep.
So we know the Kings or the 9 and 10 teams will play each other.
Yep.
And the 7-8 will play each other.
Yep.
But somehow they'll make it in to play the 6 and the 1 and
all those other games.
So yeah, so
like I said, so what do you think your chances are? Literally, again, like I said, just throwing it out there. So we're gonna take the first one, which is the 9 and the 10. So right now, do you think the Warriors dynasty is over at this point? Because like I said, they're not. Are they playing well enough to get in?
So they've actually been playing well recently because I think they won like 9 out of 10 games or something. And then I think they're just so up and down, right? So if Draymond, like the other day, he had a double-double with 0 points. He had like 11 rebounds and 10 assists and 0 points. Not exactly sure how he did that, because then a couple games before that, hit 5 threes in the first half. So it's like
he's up and down. He's got to figure out if he wants to stay or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Steph is still playing great.
Yeah.
And he's really kind of carrying them.
Yeah. What about Clay? Is Clay still coming off the bench?
Still coming off the bench, and he's again up and down. Chris Paul, if he can stay healthy, he might be able to help him. But again, it's just hard to tell.
So you think So basically, you think the Sacramento Kings are going to take, basically, because what is it? Is it just one game for the play-in? Or is it? It's not a series. It's just one game to play in.
Well, again, but somebody gets 2. Yeah. So if you lose one of either the 7-8 or the 9-10, I think 9-10, and again, I could be totally wrong. The loser of that might be out, and then the winner of that game still has to play maybe the loser or the winner of the
game
of the other one, or the loser of the other one maybe, and then the winner of the other one goes on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like I said, we looked at the bracket and we were just like, it didn't make sense to us, But again, we're novice.
Yeah,
so we're gonna have to watch.
And I haven't really been paying attention to the standings.
Yeah,
but I haven't been watching a ton of games because this is when I really start watching. When everybody really starts
watching. This is the time of year where everybody starts watching because, again, it's the playoffs. Like I said, and again, I'm just as guilty as everybody else is going to do it. So I will start watching now because, as a casual fan, especially with my team being the 8th seed, again, last year, they went all the way in, and I don't see that happening this year. But
again, they got more. They're healthier now than they were last year.
Yeah, they were.
And they got, the famous Jimmy Butler playoff mode.
It's gonna kick in, man. But I think when you see the same movie twice, it's not as you're kind of more prepared for the shocker.
But if you have a good movie and you make a sequel, everybody tunes in for the sequel. So we'll see.
My fingers are crossed. My fingers are crossed.
There we go.
We're gonna do so. But that's so. With that, we're gonna move into the Lakers and the Suns. So wasn't it the Suns that got swept? Was it the year before or was it last year they got swept?
Here's my thing with the Suns, right? I respect Kevin Durant's game.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big Kevin Durant fan.
Yeah.
And he's been on so many teams with loaded talent.
Brooklyn.
He gets his before that, OKC.
OKC was loaded.
Brooklyn,
the Warriors.
Now the
yeah, he was at the Warriors too.
Well, Warriors is the only one that counts because that's where he won his titles.
Yeah.
But the ones since the Warriors, they hadn't won anything. Well, and then Phoenix, they make this, another so-called super team with
him and all
with Booker and him and what's our guy from
Cookie Cook? Yeah.
From the Wizards? No, not him.
Not him.
The
Wizards. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the guard?
Beal.
The guard. Okay.
So they were supposed to be another super team, but they can't ever be healthy. They haven't played together that much. And so just something always happens when you're the Suns. Kevin Durant, it's like, I don't know, it just follows him. He does well, he does his thing, and then the team implodes around him.
Well, and so it's kind of his thing, though. Like I said, to speak about him right quick, I saw a Twitter post, and they had all the greats on there. They had D Wade in it, and they had Kevin Durant in it, right? But so in this post, they had, of course, Kobe, Michael, LeBron, Shaq, not Julius Irving. Was it that? No. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
They had they had all the greats. They had a mix, and they said who doesn't belong in this picture. So everybody started going in on Wade, and I was like, well, Wade won his one with Shaq early, but he wasn't a superstar when he won. I said he became a superstar after the fact when he won. I said then he got more when LeBron came. Right. I said, but when you look at this list in its totality, I kept looking at Kevin Durant. I kept going, he really don't belong. And I said, because when you look at it, the team wasn't built around him. He went to a team to win one that already was built.
Well, if you're counting the title, then yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But was he the best player on those teams? Yes.
Yeah, he was.
He loses points in my book because he joined the team that was already loaded, as opposed to create. People always try to compare. Oh well, LeBron did the same. No, he didn't. LeBron and D Wade and Bosh came together to try to make it work.
Yeah.
Golden State was already working,
and
then you just add in the best player in the world.
You did.
And so again, he won the titles. They won the titles. He was the MVP of both of those. Clearly was the best player.
Yeah.
So I can't take that away from him. But since he's left there and before he went there, he's putting up his numbers. But something always happens in the playoffs with those teams.
That's it.
But I don't know.
So with that, like I said, we got the Lakers and
Suns. Again, if it stays the same way it is.
If it stays.
I know the Lakers, I think, play the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Pelicans are the 6th seed, I believe. I know everybody's kind of bunched up, so if the Lakers win that, I don't know if they have a chance to leapfrog anybody, but, I'm a LeBron guy.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a Lakers fan per se. I'm a LeBron guy. So if LeBron was playing for Detroit, I'd be rooting for Detroit right now.
That's the worst team in the league, right now.
You know what? We can talk about Detroit. Because they broke their franchise record for most losses in the season. Congratulations. But I'm still salty because they had a chance to go down in history as the worst team ever because they lost 28 or 29 in a row, and then they won a game.
He was like,
so now you're only the second worst team in history. I don't like that.
If you're going to be great, be great.
If you're going to be horrible, be the worst ever.
He said, set the record. Set the bar, become the standard. Don't be the what? Don't be the floor, be the ceiling.
Exactly. And as Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof.
That's right. Like what?
So,
like, huh?
I know what you meant, Mike. But
like the ceiling is the roof. Yeah. Like, really? Wait a minute, bro. That don't make sense.
Hey, when you're a billionaire, when you're worth $3 billion, you can say what you want.
Say whatever you want.
You can make up stuff.
That's what he did too.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I said, it's going to be interesting for the West. Like I said, but the East is just again just going to be just as interesting. So the Heat's playing in at the 8th seed. You got who else?
The Sixers are the 7th, which is interesting because Embiid was out for a lot of time. But when he was playing, he was he might have been the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Like, he's looking for back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, he was.
Because he's killing it.
You know what shocked me? I think, because as bad as Atlanta was playing, the East must just be a mess, man. It's got to be, man. Like I said, because I know last time I checked, Atlanta was not a good team.
I mean, they're the 10 seed. I don't know what their record is.
Yeah.
But again, I think they're all just kind of bunched up,
Yeah.
except for the top team in the East, which is the Celtics.
They
They ran away with it.
They definitely ran.
Like Milwaukee's is the 2 seed.
Yeah, they don't have a good record either, really.
It's a 14-point
14 game difference
between one and two.
Which is amazing. Which amazes me. Like I say, because when the Bucks made that change to get rid of their coach, their record was like 30 and something. I mean, it was very good. Or was it? Yeah. And then all of a sudden they went. I mean, their record's literally still like 47 and something. So they've only run like maybe 20 games.
Yeah, they definitely didn't do what you would have hoped you would have done.
But again, they said that might be the Doc Rivers curse.
Very well might be. Very well might be.
Wherever he goes.
Yeah. And my whole thing with Milwaukee too is, again, you put together this team by bringing in Dame.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that in 1 year and then win a title.
Get the chemistry.
And so, exactly. And so I was telling people, Dame is a great player.
Yeah.
But he was in Portland. He had no expectations.
None.
They had that one run where they made it to the conference finals, but he's playing with house money. Like, he scores 30, they lose. Oh, well, it's Portland. We thought you were going to lose.
Yeah.
He scores 30 and they win. Yeah, Dame, good job. Yeah. But there's no expectations to win the next game. Well, now he's in Milwaukee. You got Giannis. The expectation is y'all need to make it. If you don't make it to at least the conference finals, this was a wasted
season.
And especially when you look at the guy that you used to have, Drew Holiday, is now with the Celtics, and the Celtics are rolling.
And not only that, Dame doesn't play a good defense.
Exactly.
So you're giving up defense and some points for ultimate scoring, and it really isn't panning out because from what I read in some of the articles, Giannis said no. I think Giannis said no, it's our team, but everybody knows it's Giannis's team. And then you have that not power struggle, but that decision at the end of the game: who's going to take the shot? Is it going to be Giannis? Is it going to be Dame? Is it going to be somebody else? Kind of like when, like I said, when you mentioned earlier with Bosh.
Yeah, with the Heat. Heat, that first year they hadn't figured it out.
They hadn't figured it out. So who's going to take the shot? Is it going to be Wade? Is it going to be LeBron? Is it going to be Bosh? And you're like, they were all looking at each other like, oh no, you take the shot. No, you take the shot. No.
They were all deferring to each other.
I'll be unselfish because I don't want to look like the ball hog. And again, it really didn't work out well.
Well, and that's what if they had to do again, that whole group going back to the Heat, they would have said from the jump, LeBron,
take the shot.
Take the shot.
Yeah.
LeBron, being LeBron, was like, hey, D-Wade, this is your team. This is your city. We came here for you.
Yeah.
You're still on the top of your game.
Yeah. Take it.
After that first year, they figured it out.
Yeah.
And LeBron was like, look, I'm going to get y'all involved, but I'm the dude.
Yeah.
And Bosh and Wade and everybody else realized, yes, you are that dude. And then what happened? They won it 2 years in a row. It wasn't even close. They were dominant.
Yeah.
They probably would. They had the talent to win it 4 years.
Yeah.
But that fourth year, the first year they just hadn't figured it out, and they played a team in Dallas that was hot and had a bunch of veterans, played together, knew what to do in winning time, and then there was clearly that was Dirk's team.
Yeah.
The fourth year, D Wade was injured. He wasn't the same dude, and then the wheels kind of fell off, and they got the brakes blown off by the Spurs.
Destroyed.
So
obliterated.
Yeah.
So like I said, so that's going to be fun to see. Like I said, but again, last year's Cinderella story that went all the way to the finals was the Heat. Like I said, I was surprised, but of course, playoff basketball, the way they play is completely different. It's not, everybody does their film study. They're going to force you to your weekend. They're going to force you to the last shot. That's how Miami plays ball. They play that gritty. I would say late 2000s. Late 90s, early 2000s basketball where they make you grind it out. And again, that's playoff basketball and that's the defense they play. But of course, I think that's reflected more of not Spoelstra, but more of Pat Riley.
Yeah, I mean, Spoelstra, like I said, he's definitely earned his stripes. I mean, he's become like a great coach, But I'm gonna tell you, so that's like one of the myths that drive me crazy when people talk about like the NBA now.
Yeah.
Is that, they don't play any defense, it's soft. Look at the 90s and the 80s, they played great defense because they were clotheslining people.
I love it.
I'm like, look.
Kill them.
It wasn't basketball. It was ugly. And those dudes were not skilled compared to these dudes today. Man.
Bruh.
Look.
And nothing like that.
These dudes now, was it entertaining? Yes. But when you go back and look at it now with some perspective, you're looking at these dudes with one hand dribble. Like we used to make fun of Bob Cousy dribbling around in circles with one hand.
Yep.
That's exactly what the 80s look like if you go back and look.
It was great basketball.
It's horrible.
It was wonderful.
And man. I grew up in that era, and there was nothing like the Lakers and Celtics, like just those teams going at it. But when you watch the skill level of those players, and people are going to kill me for this, but you watch the skill level of those players compared to now, and it is like,
oh, it's light years.
Oh my God.
Well, like I said, we talked about this in another show, of course. It caters to every league today caters more to the offense because people like to see the scoreboard light up. Nobody wants to see a 2-3 game. Nobody, maybe, unless there's a lot of fouls involved.
And nobody really wants to see that, because then there's nothing but shooting free throws. That's horrible.
Oh yeah, it'd be like the old days of basketball before they cut the hole in the bottom. When they had to stop.
They had to stop to pull his ball out every time. Good Lord.
What are you doing? So somebody said, "Hey, we should cut the hole out of the bottom so we
can keep it moving.
Keep it moving."
That's pretty good.
And then they invented the shot clock because people would just hold the ball for 15 minutes.
Exactly.
So the evolution of offense and the amount of skill has increased. But as a defensive person, I would like to see a little more hand checking, maybe.
I mean, you can put that back in the game.
Yeah, I would love to put that back.
But this is the thing. You watch basketball now, and I watch games, watch highlights. Dudes, it's not like they're just people think that the All-Star game and what they're playing in the regular game, like especially in the playoffs, is the same thing. It's different. No, in the All-Star game, yes, it was Olay. Nobody's playing any defense in the All-Star game. It was 300 to 298.
Yeah, basically. Hey, you want to shoot a three? Shoot a three.
That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
But people see that and they think, oh, see, that's how they play. No, it's not.
No.
These dudes are trying to get hands and faces. They're trying to stay in front of people. These guys are just too quick, too big, too strong, too fast, too skilled, and you can't stay in front of them. But if you watch, you'll see, especially in the playoffs, things slow down. Yeah. People are playing defense.
Well, they are, but again, that's why I watch it, because it's more. You can actually see them playing defense in these games, right? It's more of a concerted effort. You won't see any of the Olays unless the guy has a fifth foul and he's just surrendering the basket so he can stay in the game.
And even in the playoffs, I don't know that you're going to see a lot of that.
Well, I think last year I did, like I said, when I watched I watched the Celtics and I watched the Heat series. There was a lot of good defense from my perspective, because the games were basically nobody blew anybody out. It went into the fourth quarter. And again, we all love the parody. We love the drama. Nobody really wants, as much as we love to see offense, nobody wants to go see a game where it's over at halftime.
Exactly.
So like I said, so I like that, of course, until we got to the finals, and then everybody was like, yeah, we're like, no, we're about to get swept, bro. If we win one, we're lucky. And you're like, what do you mean? I said, we just don't have the talent.
Yeah, they were injured a lot.
Yeah, we were, Hero was out, everybody else was out, and Jimmy was out, and then when Victor Oladipo messed up his knee again, I was like, yeah, this is pretty much a lost cause. As you say, they were playing with house money, and I ain't mad.
Yeah, and they got hot. I mean,
yeah, and they got hot, and being the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Hey, look, to get out of the first round, they were good.
Yep.
Didn't get out of the second, and I said, God, I wish I had money to bet.
Yep.
Last year, I'd have been rich.
Yeah, but even the Lakers, I mean, they went from the play-in to the conference finals.
Yeah.
And they got blitzed by. Well, actually, you know what? Those games were pretty close.
Yeah.
Against Denver.
Well, they needed one more piece. I think they needed one more score in that game. Because they had put, from what I was watching when they were playing Denver, they just had no answer for the amount of scoring. Because like I said, like you said, when they started running, it was pretty much over because they couldn't run with them. And then when they had the occasional three from was it Porter, that just kind of separated them.
Are you talking about Denver?
Yeah.
I mean, Denver was just they played great, and I won't be shocked if they make it there again. Mm-hmm. But the top of the West is crazy because there's right as of today, I think there's like a 3-way tie between Minnesota, OKC, and Denver.
Yeah.
Which again is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Like I said, but I think From what I can see, it seems like the West is the stronger conference this year.
I agree.
Yeah,
because again, you got the Celtics.
Yeah,
and then there's a big kind of drop off.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, talented, but you don't know what you're going to get from them. The Sixers, talented, but injuries and they're kind of have a rougher road.
And Beams, he's out for the year, right? Done.
No, he's back.
He's back.
Oh yeah.
So he should be fresh.
Just gotta get in. He's back and he's been killing it.
Yeah, you got to get into the basket. So that's gonna be the dark horse right there.
Yeah, they fell all the way down to like the 7th seed. So that means somebody's gonna have a tough time with them.
Yeah.
In that first round.
So you're looking at a 4-3. I don't see him sweeping yet, but I see a 4-3.
Yeah, we'll see if Embiid can finally. So a couple good storylines you got for the playoffs. Embiid, he won the MVP last year. Could have won the year before that. Playing great before he got hurt. Sixers were playing great since they got rid of really Harden. Well. Can he?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I gotta do it.
But can he?
I'm cooking.
Can he get over the hump?
Yeah.
Right. And actually win something. And then same thing with the Celtics. Celtics have been in the conference finals forever.
Yeah.
They made it to the regular finals, the big finals last year. They got clearly the best team in the regular season all year this year.
Sounds like
Can they again get over the hump?
They got a different coach than last year. Was it the young guy, or did they get rid of him again?
Yeah,
I know they had the coach that of course had the affair.
And he left, and so I think this is the second year with
the other guy.
If I'm not mistaken.
The younger guy. Okay. Yeah, because I think, like I said, I think coaching. I think the reason why they lost that game because me and Jay talked about it, and I was like, "Bruh, they only going one way." I said they got to start going left. If they don't start going left, this game's over.
Well, the Celtics shoot 1,000 3-pointers.
Yeah. I mean, they do this year, not last year.
Last year they did too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they shoot more threes than anything.
Okay.
And if they're hot,
they're hot.
They can light you up. But if they're not, it's tough. And
that's tough. Yeah, I mean, but that was like the example is the Kentucky Oakland game.
Right.
He shot what 10 for 30.
Yeah, he got hot and was lighting them up.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So like I said, as we talked about that, when you look at the stats, 10 for 30 is not good, but when it's all threes, that's 30 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like some, I think like when I watched the Celtics play in the playoffs last year, they still had that Achilles heel of wanting to only go one way. So once teams were like, okay, we're going to make you finish with your left, we're going to make you shoot from the left side of the court, I was like, yeah, the game's pretty much over. They're not going to win because until they start hitting to make the other team adjust, and they weren't hitting. And again, like you said, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
So as that at West again, to me, I think they're going to win the entire thing again. Like I said, that's just my opinion from looking at the standing. Like I said, because in my mind, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. If you're in the West, in the East, and there's really nobody close to you, what is your competition? What's driving you other than the fact that you got to get over the hump? Sometimes that's a good motivator, but obviously you hadn't been motivating them in the last 4 years.
Yeah, again, it's interesting because I think Drew Holiday is going to be the X factor.
The one addition.
And they got Porzingis now.
Yeah, they
do.
Yeah, he can shoot an outside shot.
So their team, I think, is constructed a little bit better.
It's funny. It's constructed like a team from the West.
Well, they shoot the ball like crazy.
I'm just saying, but think about it. It's constructed like a team from the West. Because everybody else, the teams that are the top teams in the East are similar to the teams in the West. Everybody else, look at the roster and the way they're built. Do they have a big man that can shoot from the outside? Because that's what the league's moving to, or actually has moved to, right? And Embiid, when he started shooting from the outside, is when his trajectory took off, right? Because remember, in the East, not in the West, you already have big guys doing it. I mean, every big guy does it, but I mean consistent.
See, I'm trying to think. I'd have to go back and look because, yeah. But yeah, but like for Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns, right? He's been hurt. I think he's coming back.
Okay.
But he's one of those 7-footers that shoots threes.
Yeah, and can dribble and can drive.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting because OKC is the like the young up and coming team.
Yeah.
And so, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Nobody really thought they'd be this good this soon.
Yeah.
Denver, of course, is the defending champion. They
Yeah.
got probably the 2 out of 3 year or 3 out of 4
run.
Well, he's going to be the MVP again.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 out of 4 years that he's going to win the MVP more than likely.
Dude, I'm sorry. Woo, that's a phenomenon.
Jokic is killing it. Yeah,
man. The Joker is all I got to do, man. And if they really want to make that run, they just got to keep surrounding him with talented shooters, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that they even made many changes from last year.
They really haven't. Everybody.
I have to look at their bench.
I think everybody was pretty much under contract. So unless they're trading people just to get picks.
Yeah, NBA didn't really do that
they don't
too
do
much.
That.
So, but I think they brought. A lot of times if somebody's, you win a championship and then you leave or something. Yeah. I feel like they all came back and and they've been, they're veterans and they kind of do like the Lakers do. Like the Lakers don't play great through the regular season. They're like, we just need to get into the play-in, and then they try to hit the switch and say, we got LeBron and Anthony Davis, and now we're going to make a run.
He needs to. Seems like he just could have been so much better.
Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
I don't know how much better he could be. He could just be more consistent.
Well, maybe that's what I'm saying.
Because he puts up big numbers, but sometimes he just doesn't do it all the time.
When he was with the Pelicans, it just seemed like he was different. It just seems like he was different. Maybe because he was younger, I don't know. Or maybe because it was a smaller market and he didn't get all that attention.
Well, it was a couple things.
So
he was on a team that was horrible.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Nobody cares.
That too.
He put up big numbers.
And I like that.
He goes to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Where the expectation is you're winning championships every year or it's a bad season.
Yeah.
Because you got LeBron.
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis got bigger, stronger, still just as skilled, but then he would get hurt here and there. Or he'd have a 31-point game and then he'd have a 12-point game.
2-point game.
So it's like
disappear.
And when I think we may have talked about this on another show, when LeBron, like 5 years ago, probably said, "Look, by this time, I guarantee he thought this is going to be Anthony Davis's team.
Yeah,
I'm going to be more of the supporting cast."
Yeah.
He said he's like, this dude should have multiple MVPs, and it hasn't happened. And LeBron at 80 years old is still having to carry the team, starting to play 40 minutes a game.
He shouldn't have to.
Crazy.
At 39. Like, even though he's in excellent shape, because Lord knows I wouldn't run 5 minutes on the court with anybody.
Yeah.
My knees would kill me. But like I said, but it's just interesting how we think some of these players on some of these teams should be, but it just isn't be. Like, and he's just one of them for me. Like I said, I'm a Heat fan, so I really don't follow the Lakers. So, and again, when we got Jimmy Buckets and again, this goes to last year too, when we were entertaining getting Dame, and it was just like, yeah, but he don't play no defense, so he really doesn't fit. And like, yeah, but I was like, yeah, but Miami's money is made playing defense, not running up the score. I said when Miami wins a game, it might be, if it gets into the hundreds, that means, oh my God, that means Jimmy Buckets has been in the paint all day. That's what that means. And a Bam Adebayo's actually making some shots. Hero's making shots. Everybody's making shots. When I say everybody's making shots, but when they're not, 76, 80 points, 89, 90, maybe. That's what it is.
That's ugly, though.
It is ugly basketball, because I watched them play against Golden State. Golden State was just lighting it up. They were lighting it up all day. I look at the score, it's like 89, 120.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they're playing their game. They benched everybody in the third quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, I said, because it's 120, it's like a 40-point blowout. But of course, they were at Golden State. And they probably traveled. And they probably like, yeah, it's a 3-hour time difference. Whatever. We're gonna lose this one anyway. So we just need it when we get back home.
Right.
But yeah, man, like I said, it's going to be really interesting this year. As again, we always say, the media loves stories. What story are they going to pick? Are they going to pick the classic Lakers story? Because again, that would be LeBron at 39, making it to play in, and then of course making it to the conference finals again.
would be nice. That would be another story because again, that solidifies his what's the word? His place in the NBA. What do you call it? What are the four heads up top?
Oh, and
Mount
well,
Rushmore.
he made that a long time ago.
No, I'm just saying,
Unless you listen to
this will solidify the argument because as we always say, there's always the naysayers. Always, you say, hey, he didn't do this, he didn't do this. Look, he literally at 39 put a team on his back and drug.
But this is the thing: the people the LeBron haters.
Yeah.
He did that at 38, if you remember.
Yeah, I know.
And now he's doing it at 30. If he does it again, it'll be 39. Nobody cares. Like the LeBron haters don't even have him in the top 10. Like there's people that I look at some of these things online. These people, Skip Baylesses of the world who literally have made their money off of crushing LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
When you have somebody like that, like not even in your top 5, like stop talking. I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't even want to hear your opinion anymore because you're just doing it just because you don't believe that. Yeah, and anybody that does believe that, you've lost all credibility.
Yeah, like I said, the hate, like I said, the hate is real. Again, I respect this game. Like I said, I ain't mad at him. He got me 2 rings, not me personally.
Your team.
He got my team 2 rings, so I ain't complaining at all. And I loved it when he was there. Was hurt when he left because I was in Cleveland when his Lambo landed at the airport.
Oh well.
And the entire city shut down. He's coming back. Oh my God! I'm sitting there like this. Why are you bitter? I'm a Heat fan. Why would I be happy?
Right.
I'm not happy. What? We got Bosh and Wade, and Bosh is sick.
Yep, and Wade is old,
and Wade is old, and we about to be done.
Yeah.
So we got our 2 rings. I'm happy. We're relevant.
LeBron was like, boys, I love you, but this ain't looking too good for the future.
Well, it's not. It's not. I ain't mad at him. He went to Cleveland. He got his ship, and I ain't mad at him. He did what he said he was going to do.
He did what he said he was going to do.
Because, like I said, when he was there the first time, in my opinion, and again, I really don't watch basketball, and I'm a novice at it, seemed like he had zero help. Just saying. And then said zero help. And like I said, when I look at from memory, that last game 7, he just seemed like he was out of it before he left to go to another team. I think that was Miami. He just looked like, of course, all the rumors came out about his mom and Delonte West and all that. Again, they're all rumors. I don't know anything about that. He just seemed very disinterested. But when he was there, it just seemed like they were not getting him any help. Any help they did get, they got him like old players.
I mean, he like, come on. I mean, he tried. I mean, it's like it's free agency.
Yeah.
There are teams that people want to go to, Miami, LA, and then there's teams that nobody wants to go to. Cleveland, Charlotte, back then Milwaukee. They're just, it just is what it is.
Timberwolves back then.
I mean, it just is what it is. So if you're looking for, free agents, you're looking for people that can go anywhere. If you're one of those spots, good luck because you're not getting them.
Yeah, but I mean that's with all sports, like I said. But sometimes you have to make it. You have to make it a great place to be. And I think some of the players, sometimes, like I said, when they come together, because even I remember when Brooklyn was the Brooklyn Nets.
Well,
have they ever been? I mean, think about it.
But we'll see. They were the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah.
Then they got a new owner.
Yeah,
and the new owner made it cool to be a Brooklyn Net.
Yeah.
Because they brought in Jay-Z and they brought in all these, and then and they moved from New Jersey to Brooklyn. Because that's New York's another place everybody wants to go.
Yeah, see, then remember what the Clippers wasn't the place to be at one point either.
Nope.
Yeah, I remember when the Clippers had, was it 3 players? God, and they traded them all away. Was it the Jimmies? No, was it the Jimmies? Or was it because they had they had 2 point guards and somebody else, and they were balling. Then he traded them all away.
How long is this?
This is a while ago. This is when the old owner, the one that said the stuff, he owned them.
Okay.
And but they always had like a lottery pick. That was just horrible.
Always. Yeah. I mean, you're in LA. People they just didn't want to. They just want to go. And again, it's weird because they share the same building.
Yeah.
Everything's the same. Now they are about to get their own. Clippers are cool now. Like everybody likes to be a Clipper now. And they're about to get their own stadium.
Well, they need it. I mean, it's hard. Excuse me. Well, for me, like I said, not for me, but I would. That's like your little brother or your big brother, and you're always looking up to your big brother.
Yep.
Until you win something, then
Yep.
you're still in your little brother's shadow because he has 15 and you have 1.
Yep.
Well, we got 1. Yeah, okay, whatever. Talk to me when you get 16.
Yep.
You
Well,
know.
speaking of that,
Uh-huh.
I picked a couple of years ago when Paul George and Kawhi went to the Clippers. I picked the Clippers to make it to the finals because I was like, those two together are going to be a problem. And they're always hurt or something's always happening. This could be the year that they finally do something. Because Kawhi has played more this year than he's played in 10 years at least.
He should be fresh then.
He should be. Paul George is playing well. Like that, the Clippers is my,
Who else they had? They still got. They got a third person. It's not.
Well, they got Russell Westbrook, and he comes off the bench, but they got James Harden.
Yeah.
And he's actually playing pretty well.
He's gonna pass the ball.
Oh, he always passes the ball.
Now?
Oh yeah. Because
before he never did.
He was like, he was one of those dudes that led. He was the Caitlin Clark of the NBA.
Yeah, shooting.
He was leading the league in scoring and assists. And then you get nothing to show for it.
I hope seems like he would have figured it out.
But now he's more of a traditional point guard role, and then shoots when he can. He's not like just gunning when he was in Houston.
Speaking of that, speaking of traditional point guard roles, I watched something. I was watching an interview. I can't remember who it was. And it was an NBA player. He was a traditional point guard, facilitator only. He said he should only shoot what he had to, shoot when he had to. And he said, I don't know who it was, but he said during the interview he was just talking to him, and he said it brought back to his memory. He said, it's my fault that everybody else didn't get their points and their assists and their this and that. And he was just like, dude, what are you talking about? We're all professionals. He said, no. My center usually gets 15 points. I wasn't getting them the ball. He said, it's my job as a facilitator to get the plays going, get everybody open to run whatever. He said, if I'm not getting y'all in y'all sets and I'm not getting you the ball, how are you going to make your money? And he was just like, I never thought about it like that as a point guard. He said, I'm the facilitator. So I think, and this goes back to Harden. When I used to watch Harden play at OKC and all these other places, I always saw him. I'd be like, why are you passing up the guy down there that's wide open and get the sure two, to shoot 3 or to do whatever, or to dribble, take the 5 steps backward and then jack it up. Yeah, it's great for the crowd, but once they figure out you're not gonna pass the ball to anybody else, all we gotta do is guard you. And I think that was, in my opinion, I think that was his Achilles heel on that OKC team and other team and the Houston team, where they were literally poised to move to the next level, and he just kept jacking the ball up. And again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so OKC was a little different because
he had 3.
He was the third,
maybe
right?
Third, maybe fourth.
No, he was definitely the third, but he was young. They were all young, right? They hadn't figured it out yet. When he left and went to Houston, he became the dude that averaged 40 points a game, inventing offensive moves. Yeah. And again, he was averaging, 40 and 11 assists. Yeah. But it was a lot of, it's just because he was unstoppable. I mean, and they'd have a really good regular season. And then the playoffs would come, and it just that didn't translate. Yeah. And that's kind of followed him his whole career. Mm-hmm. They were so good in Philadelphia with him and Embiid. Yeah. And you're like, this could be the year they finally, then they just, something always happens. Him and Embiid, they just could not figure it out, what to do.
You gotta feed the big man. Because think about it, okay.
Well, no, they're feeding the big man, and in that case, Embiid had 15 points instead of 35 like he averaged every game.
They said they could have been something like that.
And see, and nowadays with basketball, they've added science and analytics to the game, and that's why you don't, the worst shot you can take is a long 2-pointer, and so they've basically gotten that out of the game. So you're either shooting layups or threes. Yeah. And anything else, the percentage of you hitting it with the game with the way the analytics are, it's a bad shot. What? Because if you're making 35% of your threes as a team, and you're making 60% of your, I'm making up the numbers here, and you're making 50% of your mid-range shots, you're losing on the other end because because of the percentages and because of the value of the three. And so you either want super high percentage or you want the extra point on the back end.
Okay.
And so that's why
Wow,
teams
that's
now
Mhm.
do two things. They shoot a lot of threes or they're trying to get to the basket and get dunks.
Yeah.
Because the analytics have just said
That's wild, man.
the mid-range game is just not as productive and is not as
Wow. Like I said, that is
conducive
wild,
to winning. Yeah.
man. Like I said, that is insane.
Yeah.
Because I would always think, like I said, a 15-footer two is pretty much almost a bucket in my book, but maybe I'm just wrong. Literally, right?
Yeah. I mean, because again, there's whole departments dedicated in well, you know what? Football does the same thing where they've said, okay, they break out the book. When should we go for two?
Yeah.
And it's all analytics. It's not really like,
No, it's not,
they're like,
you don't
if you're
go
down by,
30.
8 here, when do you go for two versus when you don't? And they've got a whole like dude that's dedicated to coming up with those formulas.
Look, that's what he's supposed to do, but sometimes it just don't work. Sometimes you just need to play football. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
you put too much science into it. I don't care if my roster's better than yours. You better have a really good day, because if not, you're just gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's that's why it's sports. It's nothing's guaranteed.
Oh yeah, nothing's
and
not. Like I said,
so you can have the best team, and I can have the worst team, and you lose still.
Yeah.
But
I think there's too much. I think what happens is you rely on the analytics way too much.
Yeah, sometimes people overthink it.
Yeah, they overthink the situation. Like, okay, and a perfect example, and again, this is just football related, was the Dallas 2-point conversion for Detroit, right? They're literally trying to trick everybody by sending 3 people up, saying, yeah, this is when we go for 2, but this is our play. We're going to send 5 people to the ref. He's only going to call 1 eligible.
Right.
All right. 68 is eligible. 70 is no. Only 68 is eligible. So, okay, I'm not going to guard 70.
Right.
Well, what do you mean the play's bad? We call 68 eligible. If you're not throwing the ball 68, well, okay, big deal. I'm not, so yeah, the analytics are good, but sometimes they just overthink it.
Yeah.
Kick the field goal, kick the onside kick, be done with it. Sometimes it's, again, in my book, it's just best to play the game. Play the stream. If you, like I said, like one of the best plays I always thought it was when the Saints were in the Super Bowl and they kicked the onside kick coming out of halftime. Nobody had ever done that before. Surprise.
Yep.
Right. So that I'm sure there was no analytics on that. I think we should kick an onside kick now. No, let's just do it. Sean was probably like, let's try it.
Yep.
Hey, when we're down by a score, this will shift the momentum again. And a lot of that in football, in basketball, in hockey is momentum.
Yeah.
If you got the momentum, roll with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, even though they said the mid-range shot is horrible, when you were growing up and when I was growing up, if the guy shooting the 15-footer was hot, you kept it. Oh, that's a bad shot. That's a bad shot. No, you keep feeding him until the well goes dry. And I'm sorry, sir. It's 2 minutes left in the game. We got to start shooting threes. But we're up 40. Yeah, no, but we got to shoot threes. Like, what? Again, but like I said, too much science sometimes is not good. I understand why they do it, the analytics. I get it, because they do it at every level and everything. But sometimes you just need to roll with the momentum of the game or the flow of the game. I mean, I understand if you're down 30, you need to hit threes because trading 2s and 3s ain't good.
Right.
But, even if, again, Oakland game and some of the games in the past, the Caitlin Clark game, okay, that's great. When it's close, I get you shooting threes to try to spread the margin, but if you're up or you got the momentum or you're feeding a hot hand, or let's think about it. What's his name? Ziti? Ziti, the guy from Canada. All right. In that championship game, they let him get what do you have, like 40?
Close. Yeah, 30,
close,
37.
Yeah, like 37, close to 40. So they said, yeah, we will give you, he can have his. Literally, they said, yeah, because we ain't got nobody that can stop him. But guess what? We can stop those other 4 guys.
Right.
And that's what they did.
But that's the analytical part.
Yeah.
They said it doesn't matter how many of these 2s he makes.
Yeah.
If we can keep them from shooting 3s and making whatever percentage, we're going to win the game.
Yep.
And so that's what they said. You would think.
Look, that's funny part. I didn't need analytics for that. I'm just saying.
Well, you didn't think you did.
I didn't need analytics.
But guess
for
what?
that.
It turned into analytics because they were like, that dude, because you would think, look, we can't let this dude score 40. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Because if the other dudes don't score, only scored, 18 combined,
look,
and none of them are threes.
Y'all could have paid me for that.
Yeah.
I would have taken that analytic check, just so you know. That's all I'm saying. You know, I mean, I watched, again, they know I watched them play 4 games before they got to the tournament. And I was just like, 2 of them they lost, 2 of them they won. Right. When the outside guys, and again, they really weren't shooting threes, but they were shooting outside mid-range shots. And that was pulling people from the double team out. And again, Edie was Edie. But they were also making outside shots. When they're not making shots, that was not a good game for them to play. But again, sorry for them. They went all the way. I must have cursed them because they're supposed to be out about Sweet 16 in my prediction. I guess they made me eat my words. Look, the way they look against Wisconsin looked like they weren't going to win anything. I'm sorry. They looked horrible against Wisconsin, and I think they played Iowa, and Iowa mollywops them. And I was like, there's no way in the world this is the second best team in the country. But they proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Sad, man. Like, yeah, man, like I said, but the science of the game is trained. The science of the game is really nice, but the show I really missed was the show when they showed all the analytics.
Sports science.
Oh,
man, that was great.
I love that show, man. They would like show
They would show like a receiver, and they would be like, his wingspan is this.
Yeah, Megatron.
He can actually get to.
Megatron's wingspan was like a 2-car garage.
They need to bring that show back.
I love that show.
I thought that was.
And another one. This is not sports science related, but another one I like was Pros versus Joes.
Yes, another good one.
Another good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when they started bringing the science of the show in. And again, it was really nice to see, how science relates to the angles of every sport. Basketball, football, it's all about angles and spacing. And that really leads me back to, when you were talking about the offense, and again, the analytics of the game, right? They know based upon the spacing, this is the difference between the old athlete and the new athlete. They know if you put your left foot back or whatever, they know, okay, I can go this way and I can do this move on you because your left foot is back. So you're creating so much space for me to go a certain direction, or for me to cross you up, or for me to, fall back and shoot a shot.
Yep.
So that's the science part of it. And that's what makes today's athletes much better than the older athletes, because the technique is so much better than what they do. So, like I say, and the off-season training, because most of those guys probably went and ate donuts.
Yeah, exactly. Smoking cigarettes, eating donuts,
and other things that were legal. Or
100%. And it's like in every sport.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at, like, again, to the casual outside viewer that says, like talking about like collegiate athletes.
Yeah.
Oh, they got it made. Look how that. I'm like, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of study,
training.
These dudes, yes, they're great athletes. Mm-hmm. But the amount of film study, I think this is what separates like the greats from the goods, is like you said, like a defensive back.
Yeah.
He's studying, the receiver, and based on his, the weight which foot he's got his weight on, or the quarterback's looking at the defensive back, and he can tell which way he's leaning.
Yeah.
Like all those little things that they study, and they pick up patterns.
Yep.
Basketball with, like you said, with if the guy's leaning or his left foot is up, I know he's vulnerable to going this way.
Yeah.
Or I've studied this guy. I know he loves to go right.
Yep.
If I can cut off his right, I know he's going to go. In the women's tournament.
Yeah.
They said when Caitlin Clark goes left, she's going to pull up for the long three.
Yep.
When she goes right, she's going to go to the basket.
Yep.
Like you study those tendencies, and so it's not just I'm a great athlete. Roll the balls out. Let me go out there and show you. These dudes and women are just so like, not just skilled, but such students of the game.
You have to be.
That
Well, I think you have to be. I mean, because everybody, think about it. When we were all kids, you always had that one kid that was just bigger and faster than everybody else.
Yep.
Always. Both of us were little guys growing up.
I was gonna say that was me. I was the one who was I was always bigger and faster than everybody.
Okay, well, you were bigger and faster than everybody. I was always a little guy.
Yeah, I was. I was this size when I was 4.
Oh my.
I was a man. I was a man among
He's a
boys.
man child.
Yes.
He's a man child. So
I
he
just
got
stopped
lucky.
growing it.
Yeah. So he stopped growing it 4. So luckily for me, thank God I had a growth spurt. But like I said, you always had that one kid that was big. So I remember, and again, this is just a story. We lived in Columbia, South Carolina, and it was just one kid. Because you don't think about it when you're a kid. All you know is you can't beat this guy. That's all you know. You forget this guy is like 17 and you're 12.
Yeah.
And he's like dogging you. You're dog walking me every day in basketball. Hitting layups, jumpers. Okay, why can't I beat this guy? Why can't I beat this guy? He's 5 years older than you.
Right.
Finally I figured that out. I'm like, wait a minute, you're a senior and I'm in middle school.
Yeah.
You're just dog walking me. But anyway, that goes back to what these guys, once they get on par with the guys that's on their age, they have to do the little things, right? They have to study, they have to weight train, they have to take care of their bodies. If not, your window shrinks.
Yep.
And you don't want to be again in the not for long league or the NBA or whatever for a short amount of time. You want to make sure it's, if this is your job, you want to make sure you're at your job, best at your job.
Yeah.
And this is what they do. And these are some of the things they didn't teach us in the past, or maybe they did, or maybe we just didn't pay attention. But now they teach you film study, they teach you diet, they teach you strength training, they teach you when to rest. Yeah. Literally, this even, and I had to not say this, when I did Spartan races, they tell you you don't go into a detraining status. But what you do is the week before the run or whatever you do, you don't train for 3 days because it gives your body time to recover so you can go hurt yourself some more. Because if you train up until that point, your body doesn't recover normally. So when you go do whatever event, your body is tired because it hasn't fully recovered from all the training you've done.
Gotcha.
So I thought that was interesting. So the trick to all those guys, again, for Spartan runners and all that, is figuring out how can my body be in the peak performance mode when I go to do this race.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for all these other athletes who watch film, who eat right, who have cooks and chefs, and what am I putting in my body?
Yeah.
What am I replacing it with? And like you said, they study the opponent just as well.
Yep.
That goes into it too. If I know Johnny's weak in the left turn coming out of the sprint, I know I got to make my move in the left turn coming around the top curve.
Yep.
If not, I'm gonna lose this race because once he gets straight away, he's a gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like I said, so analytics does play a part into it. It does. Science has changed sports as well as the evolution of the athlete. Because like I said, they are much bigger, they are much faster, they are much stronger.
Yes.
And that's the scary part of it because they're only going to evolve in the better people.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
I can't wait to see a 7-foot quarterback.
Well, that's what think about it. Like, in basketball,
what an 8-foot lineman.
Look, in basketball, it used to be okay. Your point guard was a little dude,
6 foot,
and then your 2 guard was a little taller than him.
Yeah.
3 was a little bit taller than him,
Yeah.
and then your
Forward.
power forward was a big dude,
Yeah.
and then your center was the 6'11", 7-footer.
Yeah.
Now your point guard is 6'9".
6'9",
Your 2 guard is 6'11". Your 3 is also 6'11". Your power forward is
6'11" and 6'12", 7'1".
Yeah, and 240 with a 40-inch vertical, and your center is 7'4" with a runs a 4.240 and a 40-inch vertical and shoots threes from.
Hey, hold up, and can bring the ball up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
it's crazy, man.
And you're going. So I remember the first time I saw Shaq bring the ball up. It was not pretty. It was like a lumbering step. Now you see these guys dribbling between their legs. They're spinning. They're coming up. Hold up. The kicker is, they look like Magic Johnson coming up the floor, running the point. Right? And these guys are 7'1", 7'4". And they're moving. They're not moving slow. They're literally coming down the court. They're dishing the ball.
Yep.
No look passes. So again, that's the evolution of sports, and that's why we watch it, because it's always changing. There's always something new, always something different, for us to talk about, even as novice or just as a casual fan, or even the experts. Like I said, that's the fun part about it. That's why we enjoy what we do.
Yep.
But,
there's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
There's always an opinion to be had.
Always, man. Like I said, that's the fun part about it, man. Like I said, there was one other thing I think, what was it? We had mentioned, the Calipari thing before we jump off, right? So they said it was going to be what was it? The Deion Effect, right? In Arkansas. They said, so now Arkansas is going to have all these #1 recruiting classes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because he quote unquote is the Deion of basketball, and I say that lightly. I mean, Calipari was the master of the one and done, right? Yeah, you come in. That was his selling point, which was, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. Come to Kentucky, you play 1 year, go pro.
Yep.
Right, that was his thing. That's why he got all the recruits and the great classes. And
yep.
But I think the last 4 years, and of course, we love to talk about the NIL. That has changed the entire landscape of basketball, and I believe he's going to incorporate that into the Arkansas basketball program. But he had a Deion-esque moment this past week. He said, "I met with the basketball team, and they ain't no basketball team." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" my mind's going, "What are you talking about? They just had a season." So my only assumption is he cut like 15 people.
Hey, if he said it, that must be what he's talking about.
I'm like, "Hey guys, come into the room." They had a dream killer moment.
Like, I'm your new coach. Goodbye.
He's I'm your new coach. I want to thank you guys for the season you had. Thank you. I don't know what you all did, but you ain't, you just jump into the portal.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm bringing my own luggage with me.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, because a bunch of kids have decommitted from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Since then, but Arkansas had something going on before.
Yeah.
They just needed they hope that Calipari is what will take them to the next level. Mm-hmm. Because if you were to think about it, last year I believe they had like 3 dudes get drafted.
Yeah.
And I saw a list where Arkansas was like, top 10. It was like number 7.
Oh, number 6.
Best jobs.
6,
number
yeah,
6
number
best
6,
jobs
yeah.
in the country.
Mm-hmm.
They got lots of money. They got big money donors. They have a great facility.
Yeah.
They're telling Calipari, look, put us at the top of the map.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you all the resources you need.
Mm-hmm.
You tell us if you say our weight room isn't up to speed, give us 2 weeks and we'll
get it done.
We'll get it done. If you say our practice facility isn't up to speed, so they say that's one of the things when people were like, why go from Kentucky to Arkansas? Isn't that a step down? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, he's looking at, I'm going to build Arkansas into Kentucky, and it'll be easier than it normally would because they're giving me all these resources.
Yeah. What about the shade he threw this week?
Wow. Yeah. He said, okay, how do you word it? Players win games.
Yes.
Administrations win championships. And I was like, ooh.
Shade.
I'm like, come on, man.
Throwing the jab and the
because I know when they won their one, he wasn't giving the administration credit for that.
None.
But he's saying, I had all these great teams, all these great players. I'm supposedly a great coach, but we didn't win any championships because my administration isn't good enough. Wow.
Here we go. I don't know if that's
true.
Because I don't know any. Let me think about this. Alabama, Nick Saban never said anything about administration.
Wow.
Never said anything about administration. Florida State, Ohio State.
I mean, look, maybe.
Like,
look here. Look. Maybe that's all true. All right, hey.
Maybe I don't
but
know.
I'm like, that is shade if I've ever seen shade.
Look, the sun was bright till he said that.
Yo,
so now
the eclipse happened after he said that.
Sure did.
That other thing you saw was not the real eclipse.
This was the eclipse.
This was the real eclipse when he basically just blocked out the whole Kentucky administration.
He sure did. So you know what that means. Come Arkansas, Kentucky week, they're gonna be playing that clip over and over and over.
Wow.
So like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see. Again, it's another topic we have to talk about because of course our favorite Kentucky fan ain't here today. Because he even thought about putting on red.
Yeah. He's a little frustrated. Let's just say he's a little frustrated.
He's very frustrated.
Yeah.
He's like a Dallas fan with Jerry. The frustration continues to grow. But yeah, with that, like I said, we're a man down on the show today. Like I said, we're gonna lift my man Jay up. Like I said, players' family's doing well. Like I said, for those who watched the video, please give him a shout out. Like I said, again, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Like I said, we had to do it. Like I said, 1 man down, 3 guys organically. Next week I'll be on vacation, so if they want to do it, they can, and I'll just watch it.
Yeah, we'll probably take next week off.
Take next week off.
I may go to the Bahamas or
All right.
Bermuda. I gotta see what depending on who loses in these playoffs, I'm gonna call a couple of the boys up and be like, yo, y'all going on vacation? I'll come with you.
Let's just go on the boat.
Yeah, we're going fishing.
We're gonna have an Odell moment. We're gonna have an Odell New York moment when they're all on the boat.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and want you guys to please like, share, subscribe, help us build the channel so we can beat the YouTube algorithm. Like I said, get in while it's hot. We didn't have any hot takes today. I think we actually did, if you listen closely. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and sign off on our 11th episode. Please like, share, subscribe. Let us know what we can do to improve. Like I said, if you want to help us with the intro, call us up.
All right. And if there's any topics you want us to hit on, put that in the comments.
That's right. Like I said, and again, we might read them.
We might not.
Then again, like I said, once again, we're gonna sign off. We got my man
AJ,
and we got A-Dub. Like I said, signing off. Y'all enjoy. Thank you. Oh, wrong button. I'm hitting.